I'm Heather from booktubes, and today it's historical romance recommendations. I started my channel in April when I got better internet, and that was kind of the whole thing that set it off. And I have read one historical romance since March. So even if you watch all my videos, you might not know that I like historical romance because I really have not been reading it at all. And I completely and totally blame that on being a mood reader. I just haven't felt like it. That doesn't mean that there aren't some that I really love, and so I'm going to talk about them today. The very first one is The Naked Duke. This is Naked Nobility #1 by Mackenzie. This was one of my very first historical romances, I do believe, and it is a story of an American girl coming to London society, and she, through no fault of her own, ends up in bed with a naked duke, and they are discovered. And so he wants to marry her. One, he finds her completely fascinating, and also he damaged her reputation, he ruined her, yada yada yada. He wants to marry her, and she's like, I know, I'm not getting married just because I wasn't doing anything and got put in a bad situation. So it's him trying to convince her to marry him. And of course, he has all the things. He's rich, he's funny, he's charming, he's handsome, he loves her, and he's trying to get her on board. She's not annoying in this angst. I really enjoyed her as a character. And then I read a bunch of other books in the series. Some of them were tropes that I didn't enjoy at all, but a bunch of them I did love, and a lot of them have like the beginning of this relationship being in the timeline with these other love stories, and it's really cute and I loved it. Next I have Devil's Bride, which is Cynster #1. Stephanie Lawrence. This one was really funny and clever right away and really gripped my attention from the very first chapter. So she is a governess, Honoria, gets caught in a compromising position with a duke, and it's not just any duke, is the devil Cynster. He is the most infamous of the Cynsters, and he wants to marry her, and she's like, no, I'm good, thanks, I'm fine. And they're also trying to solve a murder mystery, which happens to be the duke's cousin, and there's all these things. They were caught in a rainstorm, yada, yada, yada. But he very much pursues her and is that dark, brooding hero who finds what he wants and isn't going to let it go. And she just matches him perfectly, is clever, and gives him a run for his money. Super good. Next, I have Silkus for Seduction, which is the Dressmakers #1 by Loretta. This is about each individual sister. They are dressmakers, they are French, and they are the best of the best and are a little bit horrified at some of the fashion choices of the London elite. She wants to outfit this duke's fiance, who honestly has really bad style and isn't wearing things that are flattering to her, and she wants to take care of her. So she knows that in order to get the fiance's business, she really has to win over the duke. So that's what she sets out to do, and she does a little too much. He is pursuing her, and she is like, no, you are engaged. There's no cheating, no cheating. Don't worry about this. You are engaged. I'm a dressmaker. I just want to make dresses. I want to serve the elite of London, the best fashion, and I'm not gonna get involved with you. Again, she really gives him a run for his money, and he is relentless in pursuing her, and all of her sisters and she are extremely clever. They all have their own specialties, and they're just awesome. Like, I loved them as a family and as individual heroines in their books. So good. So good. And the fiance, by the way, totally fine. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. You'll probably be very happy with the results. Next, I have Someone to Watch Over Me, which is Beau Street Runners #1 by Kleypas. Beau Street Runners, if you are not aware, were like the detectives and kind of like Scotland Yard type situation. So they are the police officers / detectives / who knows what. So he is called to examine a drowning victim, and he is shocked to recognize the face of a very well-known courtesan. And then she wakes up. She's not dead, and she has amnesia, and he is trying to find out who is trying to murder her while also trying hard not to fall in love with her. I did for sure figure out the twist on this, but it was still a really fun time. Again, another murder mystery set in a historical setting, and it's just fun if you like murder, mystery, all the things. Last but not least, I have When a Scot Ties the Knot. This is Castles Ever After, number 3 by Tessa. Almost all historical romances you can really read in any order that you want. So if you don't want to read the first book, which I have read, it's completely and totally unconnected to this one. This is the one historical romance that I've read in the time that I've been doing BookTube, and it was delightful. If you've never read a Highlander romance, they're honestly just so much fun. This one is definitely a Highlander, and it's also a very shy heroine who has social anxiety in a way that she cannot handle crowds. And so if you're unfamiliar, there was basically a marriage mart where when you became of age to be married, you went to all the balls and basically tried to find a husband. Well, she just could not handle crowds, so she made up a fiance that she had met on vacation, on holiday. And she gave him a name, she gave him a rank, he's a Scottish captain, and she wrote him letters until she decided that, I need to nip this in the bud before they expect him to come back, and she killed him off. Well, it turns out that there was a guy with the name in the military, and he got all of her letters. And he has now shown up years later and wants the castle that she has inherited. Because he is the captain of his men, he still has a bunch of men who basically didn't have a home to go to once the war was over, and he wants to take care of them, and he's going to do that via the castle. So he shows up and says, hey, here I am, let's get married. And he has some bitterness to overcome. She is clever and sweet, and I loved her. And it's just them falling in love through like a marriage of convenience, and it's fun times. What are your favorite historical romance authors? Let me know. I do love the clever, funny ones, and I love the ones where the heroine is smart. Like she knows what she's doing. I love those ones. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. If I'm ever in the mood for historical romance, I might check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.